10 reasons people hate California or want to move away from California. We have all heard of a lot of people that hate California or want to move away from California. Watch this video for the 10 reasons why people do that. Hi, I'm Amol Heda with Keller Williams Bay Area Estates and author of Thriving Through Ownership. Let's get to the 10 reasons right away. Number 1, the highest home prices or almost the highest home prices in the US. So, California is known for, particularly San Francisco Bay Area, you get the surf to snow within 3 hours. So ocean and skiing is very close. And as such, the multicultural mix and a lot of options, international cuisines and everything makes it very desirable. But we have very high home prices. And that's one reason a lot of people just cannot stomach home prices. And so they hate California and they don't want to be in California. Number 2, California offers the best jobs, the highest paying jobs, and that's the reason a lot of people move to California. High tech, agriculture, and entertainment, Hollywood. So these are the 3 areas. Silicon Valley offers 2 of those, high tech, and some of it is entertainment, but mainly high tech and some of agriculture. So with more jobs, you should typically see a lot of commute. The average commute US-wide is 20 minutes. The average commute in the San Francisco Bay Area is 45 minutes. Now what that average means is the high could be as high as 3 hours one way and the low could be as low as 5 minutes, right? So those who hate commute, San Francisco Bay Area is not for them. Number 3, California has one of the highest state tax rates. Like Oregon, 0% state tax. Texas, 0% state tax. Chicago, 3.5% state tax. California, 9.3%, and for those that make high incomes, 11.3%. So those that are on retirement income or those that have made it big with money and don't need to earn more, they typically quit from this state. And you see some of that in a lot of big companies. The next is California's sales tax. Even that's high. California has one of the highest sales tax. Neighboring states like Oregon, no state sales tax. There are several other states also that don't have a sales tax, but California has a sales tax. So if you're looking to save money that way, that's the reason people hate California and want to move out. In fact, even Californians who stay here, when they go to a neighboring state like Oregon, they bring a car full of stuff. That way, they save on taxes. I've been to Florida in December 2018 for New Year's. And even at that time, the roofs were off. There were trees on the roadside and there was a lot of cleanup still to be done from the 3 or 4 hurricanes that happened in 2018. So, California is known to be an earthquake country and everybody is scared of earthquakes. The name is big, but I have been here for 23 years almost now, and I have seen probably a couple of them, that too very small sized, touch wood, of earthquakes in the Bay Area. The next one is some people think California is crazy to be building houses. Like in San Francisco, houses are built on a 6% slope when this is an earthquake country. So one of my civil engineer relatives won't even dare visit California, leave alone moving to California. But that's the fear that they have about some things. I don't know what I would do when there's a tornado or a hurricane or deal with 9 months of snow up north. We all choose and pick our battles, and that's what I think we should think of. Next, California has very high transportation cost. Now, what I mean by that? California has some of the strictest rules around emission standards from cars. This state pioneered the smog test. This state pioneered a lot of emissions restrictions way ahead of rest of the country. And so gasoline prices here are always about 100% higher than elsewhere in the country or the national average. The national average currently is about $3.50. California, the gas price is about $6. So you're almost 80%, 90% higher than the national average. Not just that, cars have special emission requirements, and so some of the components of the cars are also manufactured to California law, and that is why cars in California are costlier and have better emission standards than elsewhere. 6. Lack of a good transportation network in San Francisco Bay Area. Now, what I mean by that? We all know that we have BART, we have Caltrain, we have VTA in South South Bay, we have Samcar in North, and we have Muniz in San Francisco. So for the local network, yes, most of the transportation looks good. But the issue is that even though that transportation is good, the time that it takes to move from one place to the other is prohibitive. And with labor costs being as high as they are, this cost of transportation makes any increase in commute time very undesirable. And so we don't have fast transportation. We don't have super fast ways to connect to places. And that is what I mean by lack of transportation. So San Francisco Bay Area has that problem. So if you want to depend only on public transport, San Francisco Bay Area is not the place for you. Next, 8. San Francisco Bay Area has very high labor cost. So because of the higher labor cost, we tend to have a trouble for startup businesses to get going. The high labor cost makes it very difficult for smaller companies to survive or to get going. And that's, if you want to be a small starter business or a very small company, you're probably going to be in trouble with that. Last but not least, because this area is so desirable, a lot of people immigrate from within the US and from outside the US. And so the population densities are much higher than the rest of the nation. So if you think you don't want to be in the crowded places, walking in areas that have a lot of people, and sometimes, even for me, I don't feel like going to San Francisco that much because there's too much crowding, a lot of street huts and homeless, and makes it very undesirable for me. And so if you also are like me, probably you definitely will not like San Francisco. But if you are able to look above that and look at the culture San Francisco offers, the food San Francisco offers, the jobs San Francisco offers, then it's for you. But if you cannot look above that, San Francisco is not for you. So those are my 10. So when you plan on moving to San Francisco Bay Area, definitely make sure that you go over these and come and feel the place. And once you feel that all these issues, and then if you can think that this is still the place for you, you should consider. Let me know if this is helpful. Do you think this is helpful for any of your friends and family? Share it. If you have any comments or questions, please write them in the comments. As always, please subscribe, and while you're there, click on the bell button. See you next time.